While the people of Gaza suffer, the leaders of Hamas enjoy a life of luxury and wealth in a faraway land, a land where they have access to five-star hotels, lavish shopping, arts facilities, and even the Soccer World Cup. This land is Qatar, a small but rich emirate in the Middle East. How did the leaders of Hamas become so wealthy? How do they spend their billions? Today we will expose the truth behind the Hamas billionaires and how they are living the high life in Qatar while Gaza burns. Hamas, which stands for the Islamic Resistance Movement, was founded in 1987 as an offshoot of the Muslim Brotherhood, a transnational Islamic organization. Hamas's main goal is to establish an Islamic state in Palestine and to destroy Israel, which it considers an illegitimate occupier of the land. Hamas rejects any peace negotiations or recognition of Israel and advocates for armed resistance and jihad. Hamas has a dual nature. It is both a political and military organization. On one hand, it runs social and charitable programs for the Palestinians, such as schools, hospitals, mosques, and welfare services. On the other hand, it operates a military wing called the Izz al-Din al-Qassam Brigades, which carries out attacks against Israel, such as rocket fire, suicide bombings, kidnappings, and tunnel infiltrations. Hamas rose to power in 2006 when it won the Palestinian legislative elections, defeating the rival Fatah Party, which Mahmoud Abbas, the president of the Palestinian Authority, leads. Hamas then formed a government with Ismail Haniyeh as the prime minister. However, the international community refused to recognize or deal with Hamas unless it renounced violence, recognized Israel, and accepted previous peace agreements. Hamas refused to do so and, as a result, faced economic sanctions and diplomatic isolation. In 2007, Hamas seized control of the Gaza Strip after a bloody civil war with Fatah. Since then, Gaza has been under a tight blockade by Israel and Egypt, which restricts the movement of people and goods in and out of the territory. Israel says the blockade is necessary to prevent Hamas from smuggling weapons and materials that could be used for attacks. Hamas says the blockade is a form of collective punishment that violates the human rights of the Gazans. The recent violence in Gaza escalated on October 7, 2023, with Hamas launching over 1,400 rockets, leading to significant casualties. The 11-day conflict ended with a ceasefire facilitated by Egypt and international support. Hamas claimed to fight for Jerusalem and the Al-Aqsa Mosque, seeking to end the blockade and free Palestinian prisoners. Critics argue Hamas's actions aim to increase its popularity, disregarding Palestinian welfare. Hamas is criticized for corruption and exploiting its people's suffering for political gain. Its leaders reportedly possess a combined wealth of $11 billion, contrasting sharply with Gaza's economic struggles. Each leader's net worth exceeds half of Gaza's GDP and is thousands of times higher than the average Gazan income. How did these leaders become so rich? The main source of their wealth is Qatar, a small but wealthy emirate in the Persian Gulf that has been supporting Hamas with financial aid, political backing, and diplomatic protection. Qatar has been accused of funding and harboring various Islamist and extremist groups, such as the Muslim Brotherhood, the Taliban, and Al-Qaeda, in order to gain influence and leverage in the region and to challenge its rivals, such as Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and the United Arab Emirates. Haniyeh and Marzouk, the heads of Hamas's political bureau, have been living in Qatar for several years. Haniyeh has been seen living luxuriously with his 2 adult sons in hotels in Qatar and Turkey, and has traveled extensively to countries such as Iran, Turkey, Malaysia, Oman, and Russia. Marzouk, who holds U.S. citizenship, has been involved in the financial and organizational aspects of Hamas and has been accused of orchestrating several terrorist attacks against Israel. Several senior Hamas officials, including the charismatic former leader Khaled Mashal, have been living a life of luxury and wealth in Qatar and Turkey. They have access to luxury villas, cars, and other perks. Hamas leaders also make money from smuggling, taxation, extortion, and donations, and according to reports, Hamas collects about $20 million per month from these sources. However, much of this money is diverted, embezzled, or wasted by the Hamas leaders, who use it to enrich themselves and maintain their power and control. Qatar, which has the highest GDP per capita in the world at over $70,000, is a small but wealthy emirate in the Persian Gulf that has a population of about 2.8 million, of which only 12% are Qatari citizens, and the rest are foreign workers and expatriates. Qatar is also known for its lavish lifestyle, which attracts many celebrities, tourists, and business people from around the world. Qatar offers a variety of attractions and amenities such as luxury hotels, shopping malls, museums, art galleries, sports facilities, parks, beaches, and islands. Qatar also has a vibrant and diverse cultural and social scene, with various festivals, events, concerts, shows, and cuisines. This is the place where the Hamas leaders have chosen to live and spend their billions. They have access to all the comforts and pleasures that Qatar has to offer, and they have no restrictions or limitations on their activities or movements. They can travel freely, meet with anyone they want, and do whatever they want. They can also enjoy the protection and support of the Qatari government, which considers them guests and allies and shields them from any criticism or accountability. The Hamas leaders have also invested some of their money in Qatar and have acquired properties and businesses there. According to the New York Post, some of them have bought luxury villas and apartments in the Pearl, an artificial island that is one of the most expensive and exclusive areas in Qatar. Some of them have also bought shares and stakes in various Qatari companies and projects, such as the Qatar National Bank, Qatar Airways, and the Qatar Foundation. The Hamas leaders have also used some of their money to support their families and relatives, who have also moved to Qatar or other countries such as Turkey, Jordan, Egypt, and Lebanon. According to the New York Post, some of them have sent their children and grandchildren to study in prestigious schools and universities in Qatar, Europe, and the U.S. Some of them have also married or remarried and have started new families in Qatar or other places. Despite residing in Qatar, Hamas leaders persist in their mission to challenge Israel and aim for an Islamic state in Palestine. They remain engaged in Hamas's governance and military strategies. Coordinating with members across the region, through media they articulate and defend their stance. Moreover, they continue to receive funds to support their conflict with Israel, enhancing their arsenal, training militants, and conducting operations, including tunneling and rocket attacks. Hamas leaders are accused of manipulating the Gazan population for their agenda, using them as human shields and for propaganda. They continue to reject peace with Israel, refuse to recognize Israel's right to exist, and do not adhere to international norms, avoiding political solutions and diplomatic engagements. So this is the story of the Hamas billionaires and how they're spending their billions. It's a story of greed and hypocrisy, corruption and betrayal, violence and terror, deception and manipulation, oppression and injustice, hatred and fanaticism. A story that contrasts the lives and the fortunes of the Hamas leaders with the lives and the misfortunes of the people of Gaza. A story that exposes the truth behind the Hamas phenomenon and its impact on the Palestinian issue and the Middle East conflict. It's a story that raises many questions and challenges for the Palestinians, for the Israelis, for the Arabs, for the Muslims, for the international community, and humanity. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you have learned something new and interesting and that you have enjoyed our presentation. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of our latest uploads. If you have any comments or feedback, please leave them below